Hey there, Aurora traders and investors. It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Tuesday. It's June 17th. Hope you're well. It is Aurora earnings eve. We're going to be taking a look at the Q4 2025 earnings estimates. We'll do a quick prep video, and then we'll take a look at the ACB chart toward the end as well. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals and the price action, what to expect in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And full disclosure, I do own Aurora in my portfolio. It's a very small position, but I do own it nonetheless. You can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we've really started to see kind of a sea change and Aurora turn a page ever since they stopped focusing on the recreational aspect in Canada. I don't even think they're in top 20 anymore in Canada. I've never seen any of their products at any of the stores. They're solely focusing on medical, right? And that drives higher margin and you don't have to pay that exorbitant high excise tax, right? So that's plaguing the industry right now in Canada. And ever since Aurora made that pivot, it was a huge move for them. But overall, there's a lot of opportunity with regards to international markets for a lot of these Canadian producers, and Aurora kind of led the way and showed the way on how others could do so as well. And we're really starting to see that become very, very popular, and licensed producers in Canada really starting to turn a page, while you see some of the peers in the South and in the US are really starting to go through a lot of the same growing pains, no pun intended. But as you can see, Aurora MJ to host fourth quarter, and it'll be their full fiscal year 2025 as well. And they're going to have the investor conference call. So the conference call will be tomorrow, June 18th at 8 a.m. Eastern time. That'll be 6 a.m. Mountain time. I definitely won't be streaming that tomorrow. I'm still recovering. And that's 6 a.m. my time. So I'll probably catch the replay. The company will report its financial results for the quarter ended for the quarter and fiscal 2025 before the opening markets tomorrow as well. So I'll do an earnings review video though, and we'll take a look at the analyst estimates. If we go over here to investing.com, they didn't have anything on the Canadian side, so I just took 63.42 million and I did the conversion on xe.com. That resulted in about 86.23 million. So I added that into the equation. I also went over to TradingView, added up 88.82 million for revenue. And then on Moomoo, they had revenue based on three analysts of 88.85. So I added that up. I got 87.956 million expected for revenue, and that's in Canadian dollars. EPS, you can see here, it was negative 0.02 on Moomoo. So they're expecting a loss. And then on TradingView, they're expecting a huge, they're expecting positive. So estimate for EPS, earnings per share, was positive 0.127, and investing.com agreed. They were actually right kind of in the middle of that though, at positive 0.071. So I went ahead and added those all up and got an average of those three, and they're forecasting positive 0.057. So those are that will be the two numbers to watch, the most important numbers in terms of revenue and EPS. If they beat those numbers by a large margin, then usually the stock price reacts bullishly, right? So if they miss, if they come in slightly in line, if they're pretty much flat, then we won't expect much of a move. It'll probably be muted, but we'll be keeping an eye on the Middle East tensions that are rising as well. That's something that's been spooking the market, and we thoughts and prayers go out to those that are affected, and hopefully it doesn't escalate any further. Not just from a financial markets point of view, but from a humanitarian point of view as well. So if we take a look at the ACB chart here, we are going to have, they should have their 420 sales, I believe, on this. If we just go over here, look for the period. Yeah, actually, looks like March was the period end. So it probably won't have it on there. Some companies have different fiscal year ends, but let's just see if it had the, it didn't say. Let me scroll down here. Yeah, I don't think it did. I don't think it will. So, it won't even matter, really, to be honest, because they're really focusing on medical now that I think about it. And you'll see that once I do the earnings review video, you'll see that they barely pay any excise tax anymore, right? In Canada, a lot of the licensed producers in Canada, like say the top 5 producers in Canada, they pay anywhere from about like a third of their revenue, their gross revenue, their top line. A third of that is going to excise taxes. Then you have to factor in other taxes like payroll taxes, income taxes, property taxes. So there's a lot that goes into eating that bottom line. But if we take a look at ACB here on the daily time frame, it's actually a daily bull flag. So I would say that we're looking at like another decent report here. If you ignore that lower wick, and that's why I love using the daily bull flag as an entry, because you enter at the 0.32 fib, and then you set your stop below the 0.5, because they always go and they stop loss hunt, right? So in this instance, if you would have set your stop below 781, the 0.5, you wouldn't have been stopped out. We hit 786. So if you did 779, you would essentially have risked about 2.8%. We'll just round it up to 3%. And now we'll take our measured move on that daily bull flag if confirmed. We need to, if we drop below that low there at 786, that's going to negate this. In order to confirm it, we need to break 854. And then the measured move, if confirmed, we'd be looking at a move up to around 960, 962. And again, you essentially risk 3% to make 20%. And then if we just grab our long tool here, you can go from the bottom, adjust that to your target. Actually, you wouldn't go from the bottom there. You would go from your entry at the 0.32 fib, and then you would set your stop just below the 0.5. So essentially, like I said, you're risking 3% to make 20%. That's a risk reward ratio of 6.87. So that's a great potential swing trade there. But it's a little risky as you have to swing it overnight, and stop losses don't get triggered in after hours trading, which means you are subject to the gambling aspect of earnings. But if we just zoom out here, it even looks like a potential big cup and handle here on the weekly time frame. But overall, it's a weekly bull flag as well. I just noticed that. So if we unhide this and we get rid of our daily bull flag target, so this is called confluence, right? When you have multiple signals, patterns, indicators, time frames all saying the same thing, if you're singing the same tune on multiple different indicators, patterns, time frames, etc., then we're going to expect that as the most likely scenario. So not only do we have a daily bull flag, we have a potential weekly bull flag, and it's actually a weekly bull flag perfection. We didn't even touch the 0.32 fib. So this would have been another way to enter, right? On that weekly bull flag and consolidation, you could have entered there playing off the 0.32 fib and the weekly bull flag, and it actually did confirm. So we had our higher low, we confirmed the weekly uptrend and the bullish continuation pattern, which is the weekly bull flag. So once we broke the high there at 792, that confirmed the weekly bull flag, and you just take your measured move there from the low to the high, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and it's saying the target is, let me just get the exact one here for you, 1020. So in terms of last week's high there at 854, we are now roughly 20% away. And keep in mind, this is the Canadian side, so Canadian dollars. If we take a look at the US side, you can do the same, right? You can just draw it out, go from the low to the high. It's the same thing, weekly bull flag, and we just take our measured move there, go to our 0.32 fib, and then get our measured move and target, which is sitting at 762. Last week's high was 625, so again, in terms of percentage, we're about 22% away. In terms of the weekly time frame, we did have a triple thunder bullish crossover with the stochastic MACD crossing bullish and the price crossing over the 10-week moving average. When that happened, this was back on April 21st, the week of. So if we go over to the custom POW algo alerts and we click on the bullish triple thunder crossover, you'll see it on the same day, right? So if you can see here, bullish triple thunder crossover that occurred on, let me just see here, what was the exact, yeah, it says, yeah, it was April 28th, the week of April 28th, it officially fired off. So if you entered there on the week of April 28th, when that candle closed, that's when the signal of the triple thunder bullish crossover occurred. That would have been an upside potential of 30%. So that's the significance of using that triple thunder crossover alert, which I created. It's a custom proprietary alert. And if you sign up for the POW algo service, you'll actually get an email when it fires off. So it's early buy and sell signals, and you'll also get a notification for it inside of the POW Group private community. Here's an example of what it looks like when these fire off in the POW Group private community. And if you just go to pursuitofwealthgroup.com, I'm actually going to be increasing the price of the PAL algo service today or tomorrow. And if you're a PAL member, you can actually get 20% off for life if you sign up for that service. So you can take advantage of the lower price today and then 20% off of that as well as a PAL group member. And we also have a 7-day gold access, so you can get the gold membership access to our private chat community for 7 days free, no credit card required. You can just put your information in there on the pop-up, or you can click free trial at the top, or there's another free trial button here. But if you scroll down, just click on the monthly subscription or the annual. You'll save some money on the annual. But here's an example. You'll see the alerts fire off, and you'll also get an email sent directly to your email. So for example, on ACB, when this bullish triple thunder crossover alert fired off, you would have gotten an email when that weekly candle closed on the week of April 28th, and you could have potentially made 30% of upside. But again, it's not financial advice. It's just to give you more information and signals. And like I said, we've got tons of custom POW indicators now. I've got 17 total. Got the triple thunder crossovers, bullish, bearish, daily bull flag, death cross, golden cross. You got your head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. There's so many different. Probably one of my favorites as well is the ultra oversold indicator. So if we bring that up here on the chart, you're going to see what this does is it looks at multiple different time frames. And when the ultra triggers, that means that the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily time frame are all oversold simultaneously. And you'll get an email and a notification in the POW Group private community based in Slack when that happened. Look at the last time this oversold, ultra oversold indicator fired off. The price was at 346 when it fired off. If you would have entered there on the ultra oversold, you would have 100% of upside. Now you're thinking, well, that's great for entries. What about exits? Okay, well, that's why I created the ultra overbought indicator. So if we go over here to the ultra overbought, what do you know? Ultra overbought triggered and would have saved you 40% of downside. So that's the power of these custom POW algo alerts. And again, you can check out the POW Group private community if you want to try it out for a trial. And let me know if you want to try the algo service as well for a trial. I'll probably make that happen. But again, the price will be going up in a day or two, so you don't have a whole lot of time to take advantage of that. But on the weekly time frame, we had a 50 and a 100 weekly moving average bull cross, and we got some runway all the way up to the 200 weekly at 1594. I wouldn't be surprised to see a big move, folks. And we also just had a golden cross. So remember the indicator, POW golden cross. I just go over here to the list, and I think I need to add it on. So I just go over here to golden cross. Sure enough, we just had one. So you'd get an alert when this fires off, and it just fired off yesterday. So you can see here, golden cross. It even alerts when there's a death cross, and that's just when the 50-day moving average crosses the 200. Excuse me, the 200. If it's bullish, the 50 is below the 200 and it crosses, that's a golden cross. When the 50, the blue line here, is above the red line and it crosses, that's a death cross. You can see tons of downside, tons of upside, and that ultra oversold indicator was an awesome entry as well. Wow, that was absolutely money. All right, going into it there. Like I said, looking very, very bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat significantly and continue that strong performance and results going into tomorrow's earnings. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you think they're going to beat, miss, come in flat? Always love hearing from you. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you again on the next video.